everyone, this is Rebecca from Papeterie de Choix, and I'm here with a second haul video as I promised in the last one. What I have here in front of me is a few that I picked up last in my journey of picking up books. What we have here is a book in French. So it looks like a French language, like a student's handbook type thing. And I was actually looking for a date here. I've looked at some of these, but not that many of them. Okay, this one's 1936. This is also a book in French from 1931. And it looks like it's a story, but maybe a play. That's what I think that is. So there's that one. This one I liked because it has a lot of industrial type things in it. This one is from 37, and it's about railroads. It's got lots of the numbers and things like that, so would make great ephemera. Then I think I have another one of these. If I don't have this particular one, I have something that's very similar. This one is 1906. I didn't pay that, just I'll give you a rundown of that here just in a second. This one's from 1925. This one might very well go into my personal collection. I haven't made up my mind, but most likely it will. And then this one is either in Dutch or German or some language similar to that. And I think it might be a story. I don't know. I have not looked this one up yet to see what it is, but its published date is 1928. But I got it for the cover. And then this one, I paid $11 for this book. It had a price of $10 on it, but the girl had left a price tag. Unfortunately, she put it on here and pulled it off, so it's got damage here now. But $3 was what she gave for it. So when I asked her how much it was, she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," but she just looked like she needed a little extra. So I had $6, 2 5s and a 1, so I just gave her that. So this one is 1893, and my husband knows what the subject matter is as far as who it's about or who it's by. I guess who it's about. I'm not familiar because I'm not English, only in my ancestry. Okay, and then these two have the same picture on the cover, but they're different stories. And so these two and this one and this one, I think that's right. Yeah, these four I paid $2 each for. These come from a thrift store that I paid $1 each for. So let me put these aside, and then I promised to show you books that I bought from the lady at the library who called me and said, "I've had a donation of some very old and vintage books, and they're going to go to the recycle if you don't want them." So I'm like, I'll be there in just a few minutes. So I have a milk box, a little milk box full. So we'll start with these. Now this one I absolutely love. I opened it and it's like, oh my goodness. I don't know if I will use this. It's from 1906. I'll double check about a copyright, but it should be fine. And I might scan these, I'm not sure. But this was given to someone in Christmas of 96, to my dear friend Charlotte. So this one has these beautiful graphics. The book is in very pristine condition. I don't know that I could, take this apart. So this will most likely go in my personal collection, but I will be scanning these if I do this, if I don't decide to take it apart. But I'm looking at all of these. I mean, these are just gorgeous. So there's that little one. This one is A Year with Shakespeare, and someone got it for Christmas in 1906. I don't remember if it has a date or not. This is another one, though, that has some really awesome illustrations. And it does not have a year. It has the I guess the publisher, but it doesn't have a year. But we know it was around in 1906. This one is Familiar Quotations, and this is the cover. Now it's in, I didn't pay that. It's not as in good shape as the other. And this one also does not have a published date. And then this is a little, like, Christian book, I suppose. Also gotten for Christmas of 1906. This one is falling apart. I do plan on using this one and making a journal from it. And so we know it was around in 1906. And then this one is in also very rough shape. This is like a vinyl cover. It's soft, puffy. It's got gold color. What I love about this one is the inside. Even though these are falling apart, I love these end papers, especially this one. So I don't know exactly what I'll do about this one, but it's falling apart, so I'll definitely try to preserve some of these pages. And this one also does not have a published date. Now, maybe someone here can help me with a conundrum. So this is called Southern Literature. You can see on the cover that it's been written by someone named Manley. And Manley is a woman, Louise Manley, unless it's a pseudonym, but I highly doubt that, from 1900. And so it's Southern Literature from 1579 to 1895, and and here it's copyrighted 1895. So it's got a few illustrations. It's basically part of the history of the U.S. It don't have any, significant value to me, but evidently when it sells on eBay or whatever, it's a little bit more expensive. The part that I thought was interesting was this little book was with this. This all came from one person. These 4-5 little ones and all the rest that I'm about to show you all came from one person's collection. So here we have this tiny little Victorian book. If I can get it open without, okay, that's it. Okay, right here it says, "To my little friend Sarah, October 2nd, 1880. And it's an autograph book, as you saw from the cover, and it's got different autographs in it. The very first one says, "This is the love of God, that we keep His commandments." And so this is, I guess, the first person who signed it. Looks like Greenville, but it might not be but anyway, South Carolina. Sarah M. Manley, October 5th, 1880. So I think this is the owner, because later in here you have, I'll have to find some of these, where it says to my dear Sarah or my little friend Sarah. So I think this might have been a young girl. Dear little Sarah, think of me often. Your loving friend Ellen somebody, Luber, Newberry, South Carolina, which is a town about an hour from us going east. I have a little gnat flying around here. And then here's another one. Keep going. There's to Miss Sarah. And see how the S looks like the F. So that tells you this was written before the alphabet was naturalized. What's the word I'm looking for? You know, all the same. Rock Hill, South Carolina, November 7th, 86. That would be 1886, of course. So anyway, as I went through here, I noticed that this little girl, Sarah M. Manley, has the same last name as the woman who wrote this book. So if anyone knows anything about this, I would be interested in knowing if there's a connection. So that's the mystery. Now, more books. Poems for the Children's Hour. 1977, maybe. I know that that's a 7, maybe 27, not 77, 27. 1927, I think is right for that. And so it's just poetry for children. So there's that one. This one, Kipling's Best. Some of these they're all old, but some of them are definitely older than others. This one is copyrighted 1952. So I got this one mainly for the cover. The Last Supper. I don't know if this is one that I'll use, but it is copyrighted 1963. Most likely this is something I will donate. In fact, I think I got it for a totally different reason than I think I got it for my husband to look at. So here we have this tiny music book. This is all these old stained pages, and copyright 1887. So another little one. This one, Irving's Tale of the Alhambra, is my guess. Somebody got it in 1978. And I'm going to say 1971 since that's the last date here. That's what it looks like. But it has these old pictures in it, or illustrations rather, not pictures. And I think I got it for that. There's several books here. So here's a math book that it's like, I remember having something similar to this. It wasn't this small, but I remember having things similar to this when I was in school. So this one is 1947. Now, I was not around in 1947. My dad was 6 years old in 1947. So, and then John Steinbeck, The Red Pony. This might end up going into my personal collection. I'm not 100% sure. This was given in 1945, looks like anyway. And it is copyrighted in 19... The book, or the text, is 38, but the illustrations are 45, so this was printed in 45. So it's just a children's storybook with a few illustrations. The World's Best 100 Detective Stories. So we have someone's name here who it belonged to. Copyright 1929. And so I liked the cover. It probably won't get turned into a journal. Steps in English, Book 1. And don't you just love that? I mean, that is such beautiful handwriting. I have a calligraphy kit. I really need to practice. And okay, 1906. So we know it was around then. 1903 is the copyright. So it's got some beautiful illustrations in it all the way through it. I really liked it. I really liked this book. Most likely this is something that I will keep and then just scan the illustrations. This one, it's a little bit green. I might stain it up if I use it as a journal cover. This is copyrighted 1930, and it's rag paper, and so I got it for the cover. Okay. This book is a little bit newer, but I love that cover. Wouldn't that make a really pretty background for a fall-themed journal? And this one is 1979. And it's got maps and pictures and things like that. So, ephemera fodder, that's what I mainly got that one for. Then here is a prize, I thought. The Audubon Bird Guide for Eastern Land Birds. Copyright 1949. My mama was a year old. So it's got the illustrations of the birds, and then of course tells all about them. So that might be just a keeper. A Deserted Village with a very, the back cover is completely off of it. One good thing about things like this, especially if it's in the public domain, you can scan it or take a picture of it and then use this as a digital background or a digital texture if you're doing some digital, papers and such. I do that a lot with pictures of plants that I take, and I take pictures of other textures, rocks. If you're doing something that you want to have a marbled look, to do textures of rocks, certain rocks, is really nice. I don't see that it's really, this page is really thick, but it doesn't come apart. I have not looked this one up, but what I liked about it is that it's got all these gorgeous, gorgeous illustrations that I'm 99.9% sure this is in the public domain, and if it is, then I can scan those illustrations. Now, here is a book, Complete Poems by Carl Sandburg. I liked the cover. And let's see, do I have, yeah, here we go. Copyright 1950, so that's the whole book, although some of the individual poems are copyrighted before then, so it's just poetry, which would make really good backgrounds or some of the pages to even writing pages. So I'm almost to the end. So Life's Extras, and this is by the same guy as that bright green one from earlier, 1953, and I love this graphic there. Okay, 28, looks like 1928. So this is also rag paper. I don't know if I would, it's pretty good shape, so that might go in a personal collection and scan the images if it's in the public domain. It's 1928, it wouldn't be yet, because right now it's 1925 and before. Okay, so we have London Through the Ages. That's been discarded. And 1958 with lots of graphics. Looks like a few pages are printed crooked in here, but that would make some good ephemera. Put that in there. Then we have the Day by Day Speller, so it's a school book, 1947. So I wouldn't have any problem taking this one apart, I don't think. And then the Wonder World of Science Book 2, which I'm going to take as a school book also, 1940. So this has got a few, that's cute. There's a few graphics in here I would use. And we're down to the last stack. So here's another one the same as that one. So it's got some nice graphics. This one is 1947, so the green one's a little older. The Boys and Girls Readers. (1919). And so this has got some, it's got a handful of stuff, but it's mainly, these are, oh wait, these are mainly things that I think you could use as on your backgrounds. I saw the, oh, here we go. Dallas is my daddy's name. Okay. And then another school book. I love the brown paper on this one. This one's 1928. So this one's really nice. This one I might put in a personal collection because it's in really, really good shape. And then the last one is Recreations in Mathematics by Licks. And this one is 1917. And it's a math book. Not just addition, subtraction, but it's the higher math, algebra and such. Okay, I got this for the cover to use on a journal because I loved how that looked in the typography. So that is, I really, really want to know more about these two to see if there is a link. So I'd appreciate any opinions even, or where to look other than just an internet search. Alright, well thank you all very much for watching. This concludes the book haul over 2 weekends.